We did not plan to use the same fan today. And I'm kind of proud of us for using the same fan.
And mine kind of matches.
And I'm here.
And you're gay. Yay! Hola, 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 bienvenidos a The Cup, the Currently Unnamed Podcast, where we put the real and the tea in reality. And you can always come to us first to quench your thirst. I'm Logan Murphy. Say something gay. Gay. I know it's been a minute, but I'm back. Finally. And oh boy, do I have thoughts. And I am drinking some unsweetened green tea today because Lana's not here to give me shit about it.
I am. How dare you? How very dare
fuck
you?
you.
How very dare you? Yes, I will. I absolutely will.
I will too, because unsweetened tea is gross.
Yeah, absolutely. Hello?
River.
Well, depends on what tea you're drinking, because if you're drinking out of like the little tea bags, yeah, it's not gonna be that good. But if you're drinking real tea, then it's delicious. I love it.
And this is real steeped green tea from green tea leaves
Werk.
that I steeped myself.
Good for
And
you.
don't worry, I have plenty of it left.
Lord
I will
have
be
mercy.
drinking the tea throughout this episode.
I
Also,
mean, I grew up drinking tea as a child, so.
So did I.
And-
Insert cup mug promo here. Ooh. And you could get, where is Petita? I'm gonna show off Petita. There's Petita. Shout out to Petita. But you can get your cup mug and all of our other merch at lanagcreations.etsy.com. Link is in the description below, and we do ship domestically within the United States and internationally, so there are no excuses. Unless there are some excuses, then there are some excuses because there are some excuses.
Well, I'm David Healy, and I don't have a cute intro, but I do have a cute shirt. I decided to wear maybe my favorite drag shirt I have, and it is the beautiful Carrie Colby. Looking
She's
good
so
on my shirt.
pretty.
Yes, she is.
She's so pretty.
I'm just drinking some water right now.
Hola, I am Eduardo, the Mexican representative of this podcast. I am here to talk shit and get hit. I have not eaten anything today, so I'm a little hangry. So I'm here to fight. I am here to fight and to throw some shit, especially at someone. At someone today. I am looking at you. No, I'm not looking at anybody. I'm looking at one of the queens. Hello?
Now, why are you...
I'm looking at one of the queens. Hello? Anyways,
Hello?
I'm drinking water to try to fill up
Why
on
is
water.
Why is David trying to start?
To water down your hate.
Yes, fully.
And hi, I am River, your Brazilian correspondent here on The Cup. And it is really hot today, so I'm just drinking some water out of my Madrid mug. Hydration is important.
Loves it. Well, we are back, and guess what, y'all? It's another spectacular episode of Drag Race España. This season, we said it at the start. España's back, and it's been back all season. And I'm sad that it's almost over. I just realized that it's episode 8, which means it's almost over, and that makes me sad.
Yeah, we have like 2 more episodes.
Yeah.
2 more competitive episodes.
Maybe we'll have a reunion.
Yeah.
I hope so.
Yeah,
With this
I
cast,
believe I need
They
a
always do
reunion
12
for this
episodes.
cast.
It's 2 more competitive episodes, a reunion, then the finale.
I'll take that.
Good.
Mhm.
I'll take that any day of the week.
Love
But
it.
we're gonna dive into this episode. Before we do, make sure to subscribe if you've not already, because we're here almost all the time giving you almost all things drag. And make sure to check out the description below where you can find all of our audio podcast links, our other YouTube channels, and our Patreon for exclusive content and early access, including early access to most of the Look Over Here's for the franchises we are currently covering, and early access to our end of the year videos. We are getting much closer to starting all of our end of the year videos, and that's terrifying. So yeah, period. We come back into the workroom.
Oh.
Oh, no.
Oh.
And the spirit of Angelita is preventing me from saying that Angelita was eliminated.
We come back to the
I
workroom.
really thought it was a dramatic pause.
I thought so
an
too.
extremely long dramatic.
No.
We come back to the workroom. and Angelita's gone.
Who?
She is, and she's really trying to fuck with my Wi-Fi right now. She is really, she is trying it today. She is trying it.
She knows you're talking shit
Lord
today.
Jesus. Yep, she's trying it. Yeah, it's because I'm back talking shit.
And you're not the only one, because La Nina is like, I think I'm happier after sending Angelita home than I was when I actually won a challenge.
Right.
I understand that.
Yeah.
I will say as well, I'm really upset that I haven't been here for the last couple of weeks because these episodes have been really good. And most especially last week. The way I screamed a scream that has not been scrimped in like a year.
Yes.
Like, you can't write this season better. Like, you just cannot, you can't write this at all.
What part
It's
specifically?
so good. Oh, the entire Vampy
Lord.
having the
Vampy
queen, and then
having the
Nina
queen.
sent home Angelita, like that, all of it.
But then also the runway fiasco, like all of that. Oh my god.
The fighting on the main
The
stage.
fighting. Oh, the girls were fighting. So good.
Just, you can't
But
script. Like,
Nina
that might be
said,
my
but
favorite episode
I
of Drag Race
felt.
ever.
Oh, yes. I kind of felt that the energy felt lighter. This episode, right when they came in, like everyone just felt, and it's not supposed to be like a mean thing or anything, but people felt. I feel like they felt relieved. It was like I don't know. I like Angelita, but it was just like I feel like the girls didn't really want to be fighting, and they couldn't escape it while she was there because she was always bringing something up, and they didn't have really an option other than engage in a way. But honestly, she made such great TV, and it wouldn't have been such a great season without her. So I am glad that we had her on this season, and I appreciate what she gave us, for sure.
Absolutely. I feel like where I ended up with Angelita is she became the villain that I loved to hate on Drag Race.
Exactly.
And that is one of my favorite archetypes. And like, at the end of the day, her drag is good. She does good drag. She represents a time period and a style of drag we don't see a whole lot of anymore on Drag Race. And for that, I'm thankful. And also, she just made good TV. So I wasn't mad at it, but I was happy to see her go. I'm not even going to lie to you. Simply just because I thought it was her time.
Yeah.
But yeah, I definitely agree about the energy feeling different, especially the energy. Like, this top 6 really felt like it was like, oh, we can all finally be friends now. Like, that's what it felt like to me. And even as we come into the next day in the workroom, like, there's no real like bickering. There's like, everyone's like, oh, we're good, everything is lovely. Supreme comes in with some sort of faux hawk hair situation that I was not a fan of personally.
She was trying something. I don't know.
Just trying something. And then we bring in a whole bunch of hot pit crew men, and then they put clothes on them.
Finally,
and then
for
they
once.
take it off.
And then they take it off.
Yes.
But to bring up Willem, no shoes. Still, no shoes.
I was thinking throughout this entire thing, like, how must Maggie feel? Because she used to be part of the pit crew. So how is she feeling? Like, she needs to thirst over
like,
her.
Hi, friends.
Yeah,
Let me
like,
put clothes on you.
Yeah, yes. As a former pit crew member, how would you feel about, like, oh, I have to be thirsting over like my coworkers and my colleagues, and now I have to see them naked, and now I have to put clothes on them and like be like, ooh, you're so sexy. Yes. Like, how that must be weird for Maggie. That must be weird.
Probably spent a lot of time in very minimal clothing together.
Well, yeah, but like
so-
still, it I don't know. Like it feels different, and it feels like
Mhm.
weird. Like I feel like I would feel weird in that situation if I were Maggie.
David, any thoughts?
I mean, are we talking about the actual challenge part now, or just the?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, no, we're at the challenge. Yeah, we're at the
Okay.
main challenge.
Yeah. What I thought was interesting was like, I think it was very early in the season. I talked about how Maggie is a queen that I just read as being somebody extremely competitive, and she will herself to win anything that she can. Like, if it takes sheer willpower, she will win it. So when I saw this challenge and they have to put on the most number of clothing items on a pit crew member, I'm like, oh, Maggie is not going to let anybody beat her in this.
No.
She's going to will because she's so competitive. She will not lose.
Yeah, the variety of clothing items here was very interesting, and then putting them on was interesting. I don't understand why sideways earmuffs counted personally.
Why would the first item you put on be a hat?
I was wondering the same thing.
Exactly.
Why?
Was-
That bothered
Just
me so
grab the
much.
hat.
I don't,
Grab
A
just
big
grab the
hat.
hat, put it at his feet, no shoes. And just like
like I would think you dress them like from like down up, right?
Yeah, that would make sense.
I don't know. I mean, I would put on
There's
like
a lot of-
pants and then shorts on top of the pants, and then like tank tops and then like a jacket or something, and then stuff
a
on the head.
dress under the shorts, under
A
the
dress, right? Very
Mhm.
Ashley Tisdale type of.
very Ashley Tisdale. 100.
Absolutely, yes.
I am there.
I am
I'm with
waiting
you.
for some queen in some runway do that reference, and
Girl, you're
I'm
late.
still waiting. I've
You're
been
late.
waiting.
Well, here's the thing. I know exactly who would do it.
Yes.
Without
Oh.
a doubt. The only name that came to mind was Arantxa Castilla-La Mancha.
Absolutely, yes.
I can see it.
She's already done the
the ol-
reference.
I mean, Alaska
Yeah, she-
has said that she would like to do it if she had an opportunity, but I don't know if she will. I would like
I
to see it.
As I said, I believe Arantxa has already done this reference. I believe that she did it in like the. She must have done it. I believe in like the press conference like situation for either like UK versus the world or something.
For like a carpet,
Yeah, for like
right?
a carpet, I
That's the
believe.
reference. Okay.
Anyways, yeah,
and David is looking at us all so confused.
Yeah, I have zero clue.
This
what y'all
is
are
this
talking
is how we feel when you and Lana bring up things that we don't get.
yeah.
I mean,
I'm just
is
like,
this
I mean,
High School
it is
Musical?
a very iconic reference for those of
Yes.
that
I'm
time
glad
that
you
have lived
know.
that.
Have you seen the red carpet photo of Ashley Tisdale back during like High School Musical days,
Oh,
where
I
she's
think-
on a red carpet and
in
she's wearing a
jeans?
dress over jeans? Yeah,
Yes, I've seen that.
And then like
Okay.
a
There you go.
feathery boa. Yeah.
yeah. That's
Mm.
that's what we just spent 3 minutes on a tangent about.
Okay.
Anyway,
Yeah. Anyways,
Maggie wins the mini challenge, and my favorite part about this entire episode is that she wins a gift card to a site that she is literally the model for.
so Also, I have a quick question.
Yeah.
At the end of this, why the fuck is Chloe shirtless? Why the fuck is
I
Chloe
thought the
shirtless?
same thing.
What the hello?
Notice.
Hello?
Hello?
Why
Yeah.
was Chloe shirtless? Like she
Who
becomes
knows?
shirtless for like 3 minutes and then like a shirt appears.
Did she use her own shirt as part of the material? I mean, I would.
She must have.
She gave this
I mean-
shirt off of her back for a pit
To
crew
win this
member
challenge
who was cold.
and then get last place.
Well, she didn't get
Right.
last.
No, I think it
Did
was.
she
Coco
not
got
get
last.
last?
It was
Oh no,
Minion
Coco got
was last.
last.
Oh, Coco.
Yeah.
Coco got
But
7.
Maggie wins. Good for her. Woo.
Yeah.
One could say woo. We find out that the maxi challenge for the week is the roast, the Marichocho Awards, and now I don't know. Now I will also say this: if you're in the know, you're in the know. I watched this episode early when it dropped 2 days ago. I don't know if they fixed the subtitles since, but all of the English subtitles for Marichocho were like all over the place the whole episode. Like they were all completely different. The most consistent one was Mary Fanny, which I find very funny.
That sounds wrong.
It does sound wrong. But yeah, so we're doing the roast. We're roasting each other. We're roasting the eliminated queens. Ooh. We're roasting the judges. And each one of them is given an award for some reason.
It's so they can accept the award and then give their roast during their acceptance speech.
Yes.
When I heard the challenge explained, I was like excited for what I thought it was an interesting mix of doing, like, because I like a roast, a themed roast from time to time. I think it can work, but I liked the idea. The execution was not what I don't think it benefited the girls. I think it made it a lot harder because it was too many things, like doing the roast and then it was for the short time too many people to roast, and then adding having to incorporate your like the award acceptance speech into the roast. Like it's too much for the queens and for us. I think at least it was for me, like a little, I don't know. I feel like, yeah, I would have rather seen it separate.
I wish we would have just gotten like a Despia award situation.
Yeah, exactly. And then like a Despia award and then a roast separate.
Because it seemed like they were trying to do those two things together, which again, like you said, on paper that works. And then some of the girls decided to incorporate their award, and some of them were just like, no, I'm just gonna roast. I think,
you know what I think? I think like Coco was the person that did it the best in the way that the other girls could have done, which is incorporating the title of the award into the character that is delivering the roast. Which is a little bit more complex than just what the other girls tried to do, but that's why I think, spoiler alert, it worked for her.
And as we've seen, some of these girls just can't do characters.
Yes.
And it showed. So we get roast preparation with Natalia. Was that her name?
I think it was Valeria Ross.
Yeah,
Valeria.
it was Valeria.
It was something along those lines. With Valeria, who was lovely. I don't know who this woman is.
No, but she must be a comedian.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
I love her wig. It's just like Maggie's wig.
Not this.
Oh my god, it's just like Maggie's wig. Oh my god, it was so good.
This dumb bitch.
Oh, and we failed to mention Maggie, for winning the mini challenge, got to assign the awards, which is also the other part that I didn't like.
Yeah, it was weird.
Now, she did it fairly and gave everyone like something to work with, basically. But I'm like,
I wish they would have done like a voting and then she got to assign the order. I think that would have been a lot better.
Or just have the judges do it beforehand. Like, hey, judges, these are the 6 awards.
I don't trust them.
Give these awards to someone.
You trust those people?
Maybe.
Since
the
when?
hobbies have been better.
I only trust Anna
production
Looking.
could have done it and could have like had like, oh, each of you get an award. Like this is yours, and then Maggie would assign.
I don't trust production either.
Yeah.
I mean,
I only trust
Anna
Anna
The only
Looking, as
person
I said.
The only person I trust is Anna Locking.
I liked how it went. I mean, this is what mini challenge rewards usually are. Things like this, advantages in a challenge, getting to assign roles in a challenge. So I didn't mind it, and I thought for the most part it was fairly inconsequential to how everybody did.
Mostly,
But
yeah.
Should we go over what everybody got assigned?
Oh yeah, sure.
Sure.
Okay. So Maggie picks first. She picks the lead role award.
Basically, yes.
Yep.
Mhm.
And then she gives the Delulu award to Mariana, the Bad Bitch award to Le Coco, the Tra Tra or Best Drag Artist award to Chloe,
Hmm.
and the Shut Up prize went to La Nina, and the Oh, but you're still here award went to Vampy.
That's so shady.
And that one was just kind of like, oh, I've already given out. It was more like, oh, this award is still here. Who haven't I not given something to?
Oh, who have I not given something to? Got it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Weird.
But I think it was
Mhm.
pretty fair. I'm not mad.
I'm not mad.
Yeah,
I'm mad for Vampy and Vampy only.
yeah, that's about it.
But I don't know what other award I would have given Vampy, so
Right. And we do find out that if they like take too long, there will be music that gets louder and louder to like play them off of the stage. And I thought
Yeah.
that was an interesting dynamic to throw in there.
and we'll talk about it. I only think one person did well with it.
Yeah.
Mhm.
But was there anything that stood out to us all as far as the rehearsals with Valeria and Supreme went? Because honestly, the main thing I wanted to talk about was Maggie's wig that looked like Valeria's wig. So
There were a couple things for me. Vampy was talking about how she's used to just improvising when she does things like this, and everybody's like, "It's probably not the best way to go unless you're like really good at improvising." I would
Mhm.
come up with a script to go off of, and it seems like she did. So I'm glad. And then the other thing that stood out to me was La Nina originally had a plan that at the end of her roast, she was going to take duct tape and put it on her mouth, and I like that they kind of workshopped it with her.
brainstormed and
Brainstormed.
workshopped.
Brainstorm
There you
workshop.
go.
Brain worked and storm shopped and all of the things with her. And they came up with a better idea. Like, oh, you could lean into your character of somebody who won't shut up. And as the music
Mhm.
keeps playing, you get louder and louder and louder. I'm like, that's a good idea.
Yeah, and also Supreme's impersonation of La Nina is wild. It was wild.
Incredible.
It was so on point.
Spot on.
Supreme,
Isn't
congratulations! You are the
isn't
winner of
Supreme-
the Snatch Game.
Yeah. I was gonna say, isn't Supreme known for celebrity impersonation?
I mean, I'm not from Spain, so I could not really tell you, but I guess so. Maybe.
Like, I feel like I remember seeing at some point that like her, like kind of like Mama Pao, like her claim to fame prior to Drag Race España was celebrity impersonation. I could be wrong,
That makes sense.
but yes. What else did you have, David?
Nothing. Workroom stuff.
Workroom stuff. They have conversations about
Mhm.
important things. I watched this on Friday, so I'm not remembering immediately what those important things were. So, David?
Like boundaries with audience members who like to touch and say, hey, can I touch your hair? All of this stuff.
And it's so fit. Thank you. Yes, because I had a talking point on this. Did y'all see the video circulating around the social medias
Yes.
of the queen that knocked this man out after I don't remember her name, and I feel really bad. There's a video where there's a drag queen like interviewing someone, and some random guy
street.
comes by. Yeah, on the street and comes
Yeah,
by and tries
yeah,
to like
yeah.
snatch off her wig, and she
Mhm.
literally runs after the guy and knocks him out. It's the best thing I've seen all week.
Ooh.
It's iconic. Yes.
It's iconic.
Yeah, it's
I wish
great.
I knew. I wish Tiana something I think might be her name. Sorry, girl, but you're iconic. Iconic. But yes,
Don't
boundaries.
go touching people's hair. It doesn't matter if
In
it's
general.
their natural
Yeah.
hair, a wig, if it's a drag queen, if it's a not, like don't
Yeah, don't touch my hair.
Mhm.
like
Yes.
hello.
Yes, Logan. I won't be touching your hair
Or
because you
your
have so
beard.
much of it.
Would you- You know,
Thank you.
that's hair.
And if you want to, just
Technically.
ask, and I will usually say yes, because yes, it is as soft as it looks. So, who did that, David? Who did that at DragCon? Was it Petita? I think it was Petita.
I don't remember. Maybe. Sounds like
It might have
something
been
she did.
Petita. I don't know. We both got very personal with Petita at
We did.
DragCon. So, but yes, what else, David?
We hear a story from La Nina that I was like, what the heck?
Uh-huh.
She was talking about how her and her friend were being followed by a guy after a show, and he was like insulting them and calling them transvestites, and then decided to start beating them up. And then they went to the police and reported everything. And then when they left, there's another group unassociated with this guy that also starts beating them up.
Wasn't it on the way to the police?
Yes.
Like,
Was
it
that
was twice before they got to the police. I think that's
wild.
But anyway, it's wild.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But we got a rare, like, positive story about the police. They apparently were very accommodating, asking what their pronouns were. And I'm like, well, that's a good story to hear.
Yeah, finally.
The police of Castellon, period. Y'all did the damn thing here.
Yeah, because Lord knows that wouldn't be happening here.
Or here.
Mm-mm.
And Vampy brought up something, which I'm like, this is a good idea. She's talking about before she has like a gig at a show or anything, she requires up front that whatever venue is hiring her to come out there, they're also paying for her transportation. That way she does not have to worry about walking on the street and potentially putting herself at harm. She's got a ride there and back. And I'm like, that's actually really smart, and more people should do that.
Like, it should be the standard for, especially now. Especially.
I believe that to be the standard, at least for, Drag Race girls. Unfortunately, I don't know that that's the standard for everybody else.
Right.
But,
but I mean, the Drag Race girls, they get like, they fly other places to perform, and so that makes sense. But like, venues can pay for the girl, like the local girls. The venues can pay for an Uber back, like like to and back 100%. The club. Like, come on, they can afford it.
Well, when we're still having issues with drag queens getting paid and paid on time, maybe it is a bigger issue. But
that's been a big conversation in my local drag scene, because we had some performers who had a big Halloween show that was like a 3-night event, and they had like a big cast production, and the bar was apparently paying each of the performers in this production $16 a night. $16 a night. And so the performers 1.6. So the show producer at this drag bar quit and put them on blast on social media. That got shared so much. And guess what? They reached out to everybody, offering them, I think it was 150 total.
Good.
Instead of what was it? 48. So
that's an improvement.
It is. It's still not great.
Still not great. Literally, still not great, but an improvement.
Admission for minors to get into this apparently is $20 a person. So one person was more than.
Where is it going?
Yeah, it's wild. And we did hear a completely non-relevant point that somebody brought up about how political parties these days are just giving more of a voice to people who just spew hatred and have like such a vile way of talking about people. I'm like, well, that certainly isn't reflected in today's society, is it? Sarcasm.
Would you look at that? Huh?
Who would have thunk?
It's almost like no normal human person would no normal human person would vote for like hatred and like hate speech, and someone that does that, no normal person would do that. Anyways, I do think it was related, though. I will say that I do think that like we were connecting the situation in which La Nina did get hate crime twice in a row, and so like there needs to be protection against hate crimes, and so far there is none. And like not only in España but also here in Mexico, and in the U.S. it's gonna get real bad soon enough. When it comes to that, so yeah, it's really like upsetting that we had to have all of these like protections against these queens, like not against, but like for these queens, against like people being stupid. Like why like we shouldn't have to like jump through hoops just to be able to walk home after going to the
To
bar.
literally exist. Like,
Yeah.
Exist.
Like I shouldn't be scared of walking down the street just because I am wearing a wig. Like that's not normal behavior. That's not normal. Like anyways, I could really like go into a whole rant about this, so I'm gonna stop now.
I could as well.
Lovely,
I'm just gonna because I like to bring awareness to this every time, and I live in a country where we are number one in trans murder in the world. So that's very much that feeling as well. Yeah, not a good feeling, but
I think we could all go on a soapbox for a while, and
Mhm.
we would be here for hours. But instead,
I mean, at least we have drag. You know.
true,
Mm-hmm.
true,
Yeah.
for now. And it always has been here. Anyway, with that being said, shall we go to the runway? A la pasarela.
Yes.
And most importantly, I want to talk about how absolutely adorable Anna Locking looks.
Finally, she got her groove
So
back.
pretty. She's so
After last week, she
pretty.
got her groove back. Finally.
Oh God, last week.
And she was on theme.
Thank you for being on theme, girly. Appreciate it. Supreme looks cute too.
Yeah. Yeah, I like that the hair matches the suit.
Me too.
And Los Javis are matching for once. They should do that more. They should match more.
See, I
used to
just
match
figured
all
out
the
last
time.
episode that they're married. I thought they were brothers.
Haven't they kissed
Horrifying.
multiple times this season?
Yeah, they have.
I don't remember seeing it. I remember seeing it last episode when they mentioned it, but I didn't clock. I didn't.
They've made so many sexual jokes about each other. Like so many like wildly sexual jokes about each other.
We can tell you didn't watch the episode of Global All Stars where they were together.
Oh yeah, you did
No.
not.
We talked about having an open
no.
relationship.
Global All Stars? No.
River would
Couldn't be
lose
me.
her mind if she watched Global.
Maybe one
I'm
day.
losing my mind right now. Oh God. I love you for that so much.
That's so funny.
I thought you were about to say, I didn't know they were husbands. I thought they were just like partners that weren't married. But no, brothers.
So, I mean, I don't
Lord.
mean like I don't know if necessarily brothers, but I thought they were related in a way
Okay.
because they are so like they look related. Is the thing.
Oh yeah, no, they're definitely boyfriend twin material.
Yeah.
Mhm.
They also have the same name, so that makes it even weirder.
Right.
God damn it. Anyway, Valeria also looks great. Let's just. I'm gonna move on.
David, what secret are you hiding?
Nothing.
Okay, we'll talk about it once we stop this recording.
Oh, how the tall Javi looks hot?
Oh, that's always been something I've brought up.
I mean, yeah,
Well, yes.
Galo is the most like the best looking one of the Javis. We've
sure.
been known.
Yes.
I'm glad we've gotten confirmation over this whole season that they're both just big old bottoms. Anyway, let's talk about our roast. And look at all of our beautiful queens here and Angelita.
Lord. Also,
I made that. I'm saying it because Chloe made the reference.
Mhm.
Chloe
Also,
said it first.
I will say, Angelita, I don't know what was going on today, but her eyebrows What was going
Or
on with her
non-existent.
eyebrows? No, what the way that she tried to cover her like natural eyebrows? I've never seen it done so badly on her. Like she normally does it really well, and today I think she was just so much like full with so much hatred that she just couldn't
I was gonna
focus.
say, do you think she gave a fuck?
I think she was just so
She
full of
just-
hatred that she was just like,
She literally just got sent home, and then 2 days later, she gets brought back to have to listen to people that she doesn't like roast her, and mostly her.
mhm.
I don't blame her, honestly.
I will say though, like I just want to get it out of the way right now because otherwise I'm just gonna keep bringing it up throughout the entirety of this like the challenge.
Sure.
Angelita today was one of the most unprofessional like beings that has ever been on Drag Race ever. I have never met like a drag queen be so unprofessional. Like I have never seen such unprofessionalism before. Like maybe
The,
on like
the unprofessionalism far too much.
far too much. Yes, like and not only from Angelita, also from Miss Cristo, and surprisingly Porca. Like I don't know why Porca was being such a bitch today, but like the three of them that are on the right from the eliminated queens were all being like really bitchy today, and like I
Not
get
the
it.
people from the right being shitty.
Wouldn't be the first time. Anyways,
I don't even know if Angelita was the worst.
I think Miss Cristo might have been worse actually.
She might have been
That was
worse.
the worst.
Yeah, but like it was very clear to me that
Pretending to
Angelita
fall
was.
asleep.
Yeah, I was gonna say it was very clear to me that Angelita was the one that was behind all of these like shady things,
Mhm.
Oh, obviously.
but Miss Cristo was the one that was really taking it farther from there. Like it was just really uncomfortable, and as I said last time, they were going out of their way to trip up some of the girls that they didn't like La Niña, Mariana, Vampi. They were going out of their way to be
Especially
like,
Vampy for some reason.
yeah, they were like, don't laugh, absolutely do not laugh, or like, hey, don't like pretend to be asleep now. So like I just got really really annoyed, and that left a really bad taste in my mouth with these three girls.
Why do the like people below them like almost look like the next evolution? Especially on the right side.
I mean, maybe because they are better.
Well, Julie.
I mean,
I
at
do want
this competition, they are
at this
factually.
competition, objectively speaking, they are the top 6.
Mhm.
I mostly want to say, as much as I did not, because I agree with you, I didn't love Miss Cristo's attitude or any of that. But this Twix wrapper headpiece she had on was everything.
You know, I hate it when I bitch. I hate looks great. I hate it. I hate when I bitch that I hate looks gorgeous. Like that's
I love it when a bitch that I hate looks horrible. And I got both.
yeah, truly. Also, I
Best
don't really
of both
hate them.
worlds,
I'm just
truly.
really, as I said, I am hangry. So today I am
I
really
don't-
going in.
I don't love the characters that Porca, Cristo, or Angelita were portrayed as in this episode. Now, do
Yes.
I think that is actually how some of them might be in the real world? Potentially. I'm only judging based off of this episode. Additionally, I would just like to say I was so happy to see Shani La Santa back, even though she didn't look that
I did not
great.
recognize
But I was
her.
so happy to see her.
What?
I was
What's
happy
going
to
on
see
with this
Kelly
wig?
looking great.
Kelly looks
Yes.
great.
Mm,
And
lovely. And Dita looked great as well.
Dita Dubois.
Mm-hmm.
I wish
Not
they
to
let
be
them walk the runway for this theme too while they were there. They were there. Just let them walk the runway because I've seen them on Instagram. Some of their
Like the
looks.
quick runway that
was
we
good.
sometimes get for
Mm.
regular runways, that we could get like a 10
Yeah.
second each.
Yeah.
But I
Well-
agree with you, Eduardo. The one thing is, was it annoying? Yes. Did it make great TV? Yes. So, like, am I
Yes.
mad? A little bit, but did I also enjoy it? Yes.
Yes.
I mean, I said it last episode. Like, I basically like I agree with you, Logan. What you said at the very beginning. Like, Angelita was one of these queens that I loved to hate, and she brought so much to the competition, and she made the season interesting, and so that's why I really appreciated her for being there. And
Yes.
she did the exact same thing here, and so did Miss Cristo. And as I said, like I will always love to hate a bitch. I will always love to hate someone when it comes to like I will always love a villain. I will always love to have someone to root against. And then I will always love when outside of that, they're absolutely different and they're incredible and they're good at what they do. And that's exactly what happens here with Miss Cristo and Angelita. And I guess also with Porca because I also did not like her this episode. But you
With
know
her
what?
fuck
It's
ass
fine.
Bob. With her
This
fuck
fuck
ass
is
Bob. She said,
Lord.
fuck ass Bob, face Keeney, I'm not putting on makeup for this. I don't care.
I
And
respect the shit
honestly,
out of that.
work.
I respect that.
But instead of us talking about who we hated, because I know David is itching to get into the individual portion of this review of the challenge. David, take it away.
Yeah, I did rank all the queens, so I have thoughts.
I did as well.
I
Okay.
did too.
Me too.
Perfect. Look at us go.
Look at us being consistent.
Yeah, we did
Look
it.
at us all
Finally.
following David's lead, because otherwise it would be a shit show.
Yep. This was actually pretty hard to rank for me because having to read subtitles, I don't think everything like comes across as it's intended to. So a lot of times I'd be like, why aren't people laughing? This is funny. Or why are people laughing? I don't get it. So my rankings might be a little weird for a couple of people. But honestly, once I saw the judging, I'm like, oh, I don't think I was too far off.
Okay.
But first of all, we had Chloe. I thought she was really funny. The jokes were landing. The one about the hobbies, like she was going on about like the hobbies are so gay. All of those jokes I thought were the highlight for her. I didn't think like she had like extreme highs with her jokes, but she never like had any lows. They didn't dip at all. So for me, overall, I liked her, and she was my number 2 for the night.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think I had an easier time than y'all did because
Mhm.
as we all know, I speak Spanish like my first language. So I had a lot
You do?
a lot easier. I also speak Italian randomly. No, I don't. Anyways,
Margarita beats.
Lord, don't start. Anyways, don't start.
You said Italian.
I didn't say margarita pizza. Hello? Hello? There are other words in Italian. Do you know that? Do you know there are other words in
Are
Italian?
there?
What?
I'm about to leave. I'm
Like
going to
pronto.
leave and I'm never
Pronto.
coming back.
Pronto.
I am gonna be wasting all y'all's time.
Spaghetti.
I swear. to God. Are we done?
Honey, go ahead.
Are we finished? Are we done? Yes? Thank you very much for wasting my time. Okay. So, when it came to Chloe, I thought she did a really good job. I thought I agree with you, David. She didn't have a lot of super high highs. Like none of the jokes were so hilarious that I was dying, but she was consistently good, and that's not really something I expected when it came to Chloe because when this challenge was announced, I was like, okay, Chloe's gonna struggle, and I also thought someone else was gonna struggle, which we will get to later. But I was like, once Chloe like really got into the groove of it, she did a really good job, and I was kind of surprised. So overall, I think she did a pretty good job. I don't think she was the best one, but I also, as I said, I thought she was consistently funny. So she was my number 2.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I agree. She was also my number 2. Getting that out of the way. I thought she looked so good. I love. Because they don't have to look like they don't have to go all out for this, and she had one of my favorite looks. But I think she started really great, and I was a little scared for her to go first and be the one to set the tone. But I think she proved me wrong, and it was consistent. She felt confident and like comfortable on stage. I feel like in the first half it felt a little bit rushed, like she wasn't giving the jokes time to breathe and for people to laugh. I felt like it was just the tiniest bit like rushed, the timing. But then from the middle to the end she found her groove, and I think the timing was great. But but the jokes were good all the way through. So really great job from Chloe today.
Well, this is gonna get boring, isn't it? I also have Chloe at number 2. For all of the same reasons you all brought up. The main thing I was gonna bring up was that it did feel it took her a second to settle in to her performance, but once she felt comfortable and once she got her first couple of laughs from the judges and from the other queens, it really boosted her confidence. And you could see her just thriving. I was so happy for our dearest Chloe finally getting the recognition that she is entitled to. And I'm very happy to say she was my number 2 for the evening.
Next up, we had Le Coco. She starts off accepting her award and doing the fake crying. I was like, okay, I like this. She had a lot of the higher highs of the night for me. I thought all of her jokes were landing. But what I especially liked was how she delivered them in her stage presence. She was, I think she was the only one that didn't just mostly stay put in one place. She was moving around, walking up as she was talking to the girls, bringing it back. And it actually kept me really engaged watching her. So I thought she was nailing it, honestly. Like, I was like, oh, she's got to get her second win. For me, she was number 1.
Yeah, I agree. Le Coco was my number 1 as well. She just hit it out of the park. She did a really good job. I immediately thought that she was going to do great, and she lived up to my expectations. So, like, there's not much I can really, like, harp on here. I agree. I think the fact that she was able to use the entire stage really helped her out to, like, really sell the jokes and, like, to really make everything, like, a little bit more dramatic and everything. Everything worked really well. Just, she's funny. She's always been shady. And so this is right up her alley. I was not surprised that she did well. So, yeah, she roasted everyone and everything. And she did it in, like, it felt correct. It didn't feel rushed. So, everything was there. So, yeah, she was my number 1.
Definitely. I mean, she killed this. She absolutely destroyed. Her starting with the physical comedy makes it just makes me comfortable and like, okay, I can relax. I'm good. Like, I don't have to be on edge of like, is she gonna flop? Is she gonna miss some? Like, I was comfortable immediately. It reminded of Manila on All Stars 4 when she started the roast, like opening the her veil to like, ooh, that, and immediately I was hooked. And it was very much like I felt the same way with Coco here, like very comfortable in her presence. And like you said, David, like she just owned the stage. You couldn't keep your eyes off of her. And I think it was really smart because sometimes when I get nervous, I feel like I want to move, and moving makes like it helps me not stumble as much and like not think that much and like kind of keep energy flowing to other places and not just my brain to be like overthinking. So I feel like it helped her as well, like be more comfortable. I don't know. I'm just assuming. But I don't think we saw something like that before, like during a roast that someone used the stage that much. So it just felt very refreshing. Like in like how like for because she did that for basically her whole performance, right? She just started and finished behind the podium, but like during the middle of the performance, it was just like she was moving, interacting. So yeah, it was great. She had no low points for me.
Yeah. The only other roast performance that is coming to mind right now with as much physical comedy, again speaking about All Stars 4 actually, is Naomi's, because I remember Naomi using a lot of the stage during that roast. Regardless, I don't know what y'all are talking about. La Coco was number 6 for me. I thought she was absolutely horrible. I thought everything she did was abysmal. Flop. She's in her flop era. No, obviously she was the best. Dare I say this is probably in my top 10 roast performances of all time. Like, it just the physical she on this stage was a comedian that is
Mhm.
also a drag queen. Like
Yes.
that's what
It
it
felt
that's,
like
that's what it
it
is.
felt like a comedy special, right? That's what
It
I
really
felt.
did.
Yeah.
Like she could have a Comedy Central or a Netflix España. Hey, hit her up. She could have a Netflix España one woman comedy tour. Like when Valeria was saying that Maggie should be a stand-up comedian, no, I think it should be Coco. I think it should be
Absolutely.
Coco. Absolutely. By far the best. And also her outfit was my favorite of anybody's.
Oh, great. Mhm.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to go out on a limb and say the remaining 4 people, we will not match 100% on any of them with
Okay.
rankings. That's just going to be my guess.
All right.
Okay, next up we have La Nina. She starts off by doing a thing where she falls and she like acknowledges it, and I couldn't tell if that was a bit or if she actually started to trip.
I think she actually tripped.
Okay,
I think it was
think
real
she
because in
actually
the mini challenge, she kind of did this. It was like the
right.
same
the
thing.
mini challenge was foreshadowing what was to come
Yeah.
later.
Yes.
See, and I wasn't sure if she was doing a bit like playing off of that, like, oh, I'm always falling. Either way, she recovered quickly and she made me convinced that it might have been on purpose. So good for her. I thought she was pretty good for the most part. It was a little bit mixed. And you could tell that the girls were really like shutting down and not being responsive for the most part to her jokes, which is never good. But I thought she was kind of like not very strong peaks or valleys, but it wasn't like consistently on throughout the roast. I do think the bit at the end was my favorite part, where she was just like talking louder and louder and thanking everyone. I was like, okay, yeah, that really worked out well. So that was a really good idea. Overall, for me, she was number 4.
Okay. Well, I think La Nina at the very beginning was really nervous. I think you could really see in her face those nerves of like, oh shit, these 2 girls that just went before me did a really, really good job. How am I going to live up to that? And I think the remaining 4 all had this issue where like all of them were a little bit nervous right after going like with the 2 that just went. So La Nina clearly was nervous at the very beginning of her jokes, and you could really see it on her face. But once she got into the groove of it, her jokes were good. Everything was landing. Her jokes about Anna looking were really funny to me. Like, I'm finally winning an award, but the difference is that mine at least matters. And I was living.
So good.
I was living. I thought that La Nina did a pretty good job. As I said, she did stumble at the very opening and like at the very beginning, but once like she really got into the groove of it, she did a really good job, and she ended incredibly. That joke at the very end where she was just screaming at the top of her lungs, just over the top of the music, I thought was so funny. And I'm pretty sure Logan was gonna bring this up, but like I think like she was the only one that really used the music at the very end to her favor, and she like it was funny. It really worked on her favor. So for me, La Nina was number 3.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I like you, David. I couldn't tell if the trip in the beginning was intentional or not, but it either way, it was funny. It was funny. It was a good start for me. She did seem a little bit nervous when she started speaking, because that was like a little bit of physical comedy at first. But then when she started speaking, she did feel a little bit nervous. But to me, she still had a good start. And then she fell through in the middle. She didn't get the laughs. It was a little awkward, a tiny bit cringe at times. But then she got her speed back up at the end. So to me, she started good, drifted a little bit, and then ended on a good note. So like it's a shit sandwich, right? You start good, there's shit in the middle, and then you end good. I feel like she had the best closing of her roast, probably. So like that's that's considerable, I think. So to me, she was also number 3.
It's really difficult between my 2 middle placements because they performed very similarly. For me, I really liked Nina's performance. The highlight, obviously, yes, I was going to bring it up, Eduardo. The highlight was the end. And I think her talking over everything and getting louder and thank you, gracias, gracias, gracias a todas. Like, it was so good.
And then she tried to get up and sit back, like she almost fell off
Yeah.
the stool.
But that's really the only part of her roast that I remember. I'm gonna be honest. Like, I know her jokes were good, but the only big memorable part of her roast, for me at least, was the closing part. So for me, I agree with David. I actually have her at number 4.
Okay, well, here's where it might get interesting. So next up, we have Mariana. And it wouldn't be a recap of Drag Race España, where I'm not way higher on Mariana than judging and most of the panelists. So I really like Mariana in this challenge. I thought her jokes were consistently good. Like, they were not like LOL jokes for me, but they were consistent and they all had the punchline and I got them. And it really felt like this was an instance where I was being told that she wasn't funny by audience reaction and I wasn't getting it for myself. And beyond that, I thought that she was one of the stronger at delivering her jokes. Like, she had such confidence, she had just a bold way of speaking. So I really enjoyed Mariana in this challenge, and for me she was number 3.
Okay, so there might be just some issues with like something might be lost in translation because we all know I love Mariana. I love Mariana so
you
much.
sure?
I love her so much.
You
She's
do?
one of my favorite queens that have ever been on Drag Race
What?
ever. However, this was a shit show. This was really bad, honestly. This was really bad. Um I was really struggling between my bottom 2, how to rank them, because I didn't know, like, because she did like try to like sell some confidence with her jokes, and so she was at least trying that, but like the jokes were just not hitting. I just don't think the jokes were funny. I think if the jokes had been funny, the way that she would have told them would have been good, but I just don't think that what she was writing or like the jokes that she had prepared were funny. I also think that like there were a lot of situations in which she could have like used, like she could have gone further with things, like with when she took out the paper and she tried to like read her acceptance speech. It could have been one of these jokes where your acceptance speech is so long that it just goes on and on and on and on. That would have been funny. It didn't. It was just like a crumpled piece of paper and then you just put it down. And I was like, oh, was that supposed to be a joke? I did not laugh, unfortunately. So yeah, the only thing that really brings it up for me is the fact that she tried to sell it with some confidence in there, and that's something good. I will always appreciate that you're like trying to sell it, even if like you're struggling. There's some confidence there, and I will always appreciate that. So for me, she unfortunately was my number 5.
Yeah, I feel like maybe me and Eduardo are gonna have the same ranking, maybe. I think. Because you know that I also love Mariana, but I'm honest as well. So let's start with the positives. She had my favorite look. I think to me she looked the best. I love this dress. And like you said, Eduardo, that to me I felt kind of the same way. I literally wrote, "Where are the jokes?" Because I didn't see. Maybe something was lost. I didn't find punchlines. I think she made observations. She talked constantly, and she does have an interesting way of speaking and delivering words on the stage, like when she's just talking. She's like very animated, and I want to listen to what she's saying because of the way that she speaks. But yeah, what I really appreciated was the confidence and the fact that even when the jokes were not really landing, she didn't let it phase her and she just kept going. I honestly, besides around the time where she got the paper, that's a moment that I noticed like nerves. But besides that moment, she felt very confident, and I didn't feel like she was being thrown off by anything that was happening around her. So I feel like she was also number 5 for me, just because it wasn't funny,
Yeah,
but it wasn't bad. It just I didn't laugh.
yeah.
It's
I
all.
felt like that meme of Anna Locking. Había un silencio increíble. Absolutamente nadie se reía. That's how I felt. That's how I felt with Mariana,
Absolutely.
unfortunately.
Yeah.
And I, unfortunately, as someone who, again, loves Mariana, I have not been on as much of this season to talk about how much I love Mariana. But nevertheless, I do love Mariana. And David, I love that she was number 3 for you. That makes my soul and my spirit so happy. Thank you. I appreciate you greatly. She's really pretty. She looked really pretty here. For me, I'm gonna be honest. Other like taking Coco and Chloe out of the equation, any of the other 4 people could have been safe or in the bottom for me, and there could have been a justification for it. And that's how I feel. For me, the differentiation is going to be number of times I laughed and number of like well-constructed jokes. And I had to watch the roast again in order to judge by those parameters. And judging on those parameters alone, for me, Mariana was number 6. And I hate it because I love her so fiercely. So fiercely. But I have her.
It was very sad to see her not do well. Because like we root for her so much. So it's like, ugh.
Especially because she did so well at Snatch Game.
Yeah.
I was a little surprised. She is one of those queens that in a character role does great. She did great in Snatch Game. She did fine in the weird acting challenge thing that they did. And she did pretty great in the Rusical.
I feel like it's the roasting aspect. I feel like it's the having to talk about other people in a negative way that is in like that's the rock in her path.
But there were definitely jokes, and there was an attempt at jokes, and there was confidence. And for that, I will agree with y'all. Absolutely appreciate her. She could have been 3rd in my ranking. She could have been 6th in my ranking. This is just simply how I'm ranking it on this occasion.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I do agree with you. It is a clear top 2, and then everything else gets a little muddy. And this is going to muddy things too up a bit, because next was Vampy. For me, like, I was confused right away because I saw that table of girls just immediately like, oh, let's pretend like we're sleeping. And I'm like, why? Like, she's like, of the 4 people besides like Coco and Meggie, she's the one I thought they had the least issues with. But this is the one that they decided to do that bit on. Okay, whatever. But getting into her set, for me, I didn't get anything from it. Like, I didn't get awkwardness. I didn't get excited. I didn't laugh. I wasn't bored. It was just like so like milquetoast that like it left 0 impression on me. And it actually was weird because I'm like, okay, now I kind of get the award for you. Like, oh, you are still here? Because I got nothing from this roast. Like, this was easily the least memorable for me. And she was number 6 for me. And this is the 3rd week in a row I've put Vampy last in my rankings, which is wild.
How dare you?
This is wild because I do like Vampy. It's just, I think at this point in the competition, she's just not doing much for me.
You had Vampy
yes.
last
Yes,
week?
when she got a win, I had her last. I don't remember what it was. 2 weeks ago?
Oh, I'm talking about last week in the infomercial.
Oh, was that a hot take?
For me.
Okay. I mean, she was in the bottom too.
I had her above everyone in that trio.
Okay.
Because I found that whole trio just abysmal. So I have her above the trio by proxy, honestly.
I thought you were going to be surprised that the week she got a win, she was my least favorite.
I'm a little surprised by that too, but
I don't even remember what that challenge was.
It was the Rusical.
Oh yeah.
where I had her number one and you had her last.
Mm-hmm.
Wild.
Stand by it.
Anyways, I will agree with you though this time. Vampy is one of these like queens that I think just is funnier when she's just being herself. Like when she's just naturally funny. She's like Alyssa Edwards funny. She's funny when she's natural, but when she's trying to be funny, it just doesn't really work.
Right.
And it just the jokes went in one ear out the other. I immediately forgot everything that she said. I immediately forgot every joke that happened. But for me, it is worse for me to remember you for being bad than for me to forget you. That's the way I think. Like if I remember you because you were really really bad, that's worse than me forgetting that you were here. So that's why for me, Vampy just kind of got lucky because she didn't do anything wrong. She didn't do anything right either. Like she didn't make me really laugh, but like I wasn't like cringing at any of the jokes, or I wasn't like really uncomfortable with any of the jokes. So she didn't do anything wrong, but she didn't do anything particularly like correctly. So that's why she kind of falls right in the middle for me. So that's why Vampy is fourth for me.
Yeah, I feel the same way. Because there's an expression in Portuguese that we say, you don't smell good, but you also don't stink. So it's very that. Like there's zero impact. It didn't impact me in a positive or a negative way. It was just she was there. She attempted jokes, ish. She looked great, but she didn't feel confident on stage. She didn't seem uncomfortable, but she didn't seem confident either. So it was very middle of the road, and like you said, I'm gonna put you a little bit like rank you a little bit more up if you're just forgettable than if I remember you fucking up or like So that's my same logic. So that's why I also have her at number 4, but not that far away. Like 4 and her and Mariana like were really close, but still that would be number 4.
Yeah, so based on my ranking system, I have Vampy at number 5. For most, if not all, of the same reasons that you all did. There were jokes written that made sense, and that's what put
It's just the delivery was
the delivery was not great.
Wow.
And I think her getting the award that she got really threw her off, and she was kind of just thrown off for the rest. Because again, she's someone that has done very well in comedy challenges so far. So for her to not and I agree with you completely, Eduardo. I think she is funniest when she's not trying to be funny. So yeah, by proxy, I have her at 5, but have me watch this on another day and she might be last or she might be third. I honestly don't know. And she looked great too. So.
Well, last we have Meggie. This was an interesting one for me, a very interesting one, because she comes out.
That's an interesting word to describe it.
Yeah. She comes out and she's this nervous character, and she really is leaning into the nervousness of her character. And at times I was like, wait, are you actually nervous, or is this your characterization? And for me, I did determine, that's what she's playing up. And she did a lot of things that were actually really funny. I think if I were to rank everybody based on who was the funniest, she might have been third for me, because there were things I was laughing at, but I didn't get roast from it. Like the roast aspect just really wasn't there. Like it felt like she was doing more of a skit about like, I'm this character, and just ignoring the actual challenge. So that was really odd for me, and it made her hard for me to rank. But I did end up deciding, since she was missing the actual brief of the challenge and not really roasting people, she was number 5 for me. But she was a funny.
May I ask a question?
Mm-hmm.
Um, why do you think she was? Why do you think that she was playing a character, a nervous character, based on the award that she got? It makes zero sense
It
with
doesn't
the
make
award
sense
that she
based
got.
on the award,
It
but
doesn't make sense at all.
yeah. But I mean,
Anyway,
it seemed pretty clear to me that this was an act, right? Do you not think it was?
I
Do you think she
don't
was
think
actually
so.
nervous?
I
It didn't. I
I
just
have
felt like
thoughts.
she stumbled. Because in confessionals, she admitted it.
Yeah, you
She
could be
was.
nervous and still playing into that as a character.
Yeah.
You know?
I
I
have
have
thoughts on
it
it.
that I'll save.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
My thought is that like she went into it trying to go for stupid. Like, oh, I'm a stupid girl. I don't like I'm dumb. And I think that turned into nerves. And that's why I think it wasn't really intentional. I think she was trying to go for stupid, but since she was nervous, it slowly but surely just turned into, oh, I'm a nervous girl. Uh, and I found myself more laughing at her than laughing at her jokes. Like I was not thinking that I didn't think that she was being funny. I was like, oh, you're doing really badly to the point where I'm laughing at you. Like you are stumbling over every single obstacle that could be possible, and you're just doing really badly in this situation. Like this is not working in any situation at all. And I am laughing at you, not with you, which is not something that you want in a roast. Like I should be laughing at what you're saying, not at what like how you're presenting yourself. And like it was very clear to me that she knew that she was fucking up and she was just not having fun with it. Like she was like she said like, oh, you were not laughing at that one, okay, let's move on. Like it was very clear to me that like nothing was really going her way, and that like just she got really nervous and everything was just so frantic, and none of it was particularly funny to me. As I said, I was laughing at her, not with her. So that's why for me Maggie was last. Like it just didn't hit. It wasn't funny. It just was really really messy.
Yeah, I don't know if maybe if she was trying to play like a stupid character and then maybe it didn't. She felt like it wasn't working, and then she got nervous, and then it turned into a nervous character. I don't know, but something happened. If it was intentional, it didn't translate to me because it felt very real. Um, and if it was intentional, it doesn't make sense to me, anyways. So like, what? And then I didn't think it was funny. I was cringe laughing kind of um throughout it, and hoping that it would be over soon. Um, and in a way, it was like Shannon in season 1 of Brazil, where like she in the roast she didn't do a roast, she didn't roast anyone, but she was funny. Like she didn't do the challenge, but she was still funny. So I wasn't that mad. And here, Maggie didn't do the roast challenge, and it wasn't funny. So I am mad. It's not. It's not. I'm mad. I'm not mad. It's just it was bad. It was bad.
So here's the thing.
Oh yeah, she was
So
last for me. But yes.
okay. So if you've paid attention to where my rankings are, you would know I have Maggie based on my system and the jokes that she wrote and the laughs that I got. I do have her at number 3 because I do find
I get it.
I do find that there were a lot of elements, and I agree with what you all are saying. She was nervous. There were a lot of jokes that didn't land. But I somehow still found her very funny throughout the whole thing. And I don't think her placement in the bottom was unwarranted. For me, on this particular day, something about her roast really did it for me. And my favorite line of the entire roast was her talking about the Javis and saying just one word, indifference. Like that killed me. And it was so good. So currently on this day, I have Maggie at number 3. Talk to me on another day, she could be last on my list. Honestly. They could have done a bottom 4 and I would have said, okay.
Yeah, like I wouldn't if they had any combination of the from like 3 to 6. If any combination of two people in the bottom, I would have been like, yeah, sure. Maybe it wouldn't be the one that I would choose, but I'd be like, that makes sense.
Yeah, I agree.
Well, our average rankings are kind of interesting because we have a clear number 1 and 2 with Coco and Chloe. But then La Nina she did average to number 3. Maggie is last, but we actually have Mariana and Vampy tied for 4th and 5th. So
Interesting.
That is kind of that is kind of my ranking period.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But it is worth noting that, like, if we did like a vote on who should be in the bottom between the two of them, it would clearly be Mariana, because it's my high ranking that really bumped it up to being a tie.
Gotcha. Gotcha. Oh, that's the runway, which we're not talking about on this episode, but we are talking about on Look Over Here. So make sure to check us out, where we will be here in some capacity of the 4 of us talking about the runways. So
can I just say, though, I think this is one of my favorite runways from the year. I thought everybody was really good.
Saying that on España too. That's the thing, is we keep saying it for España. It's so good.
And I'm gonna say is she went home in that.
Yeah. Well, let's talk about it, shall we? Because we get our results and critiques and things like that, and we get the all-important question:
right?
Who should go home tonight and why?
Finally,
make them write it down.
People.
It wasn't a pile-on for once.
No, and I was really surprised by that, actually. We had 2 votes on Mariana, 2 votes on Nina, and 2 votes on Maggie.
No, it was 3 votes on Maggie, right?
No, it was 2, 2, and 2.
No.
Okay.
3 votes.
No, because Maggie said La Nina, Chloe said Mariana.
I have it written down.
Okay, then tell us.
Okay, this is the order that it went. Chloe said Mariana, Vampy said Maggie, Mariana said Maggie, Maggie said La Nina said Maggie, La Coco said La Nina.
Yeah,
you're right.
You're right.
Right. Mm-hmm.
But I bet Chloe was like, well, F my drag. I said Mariana first and nobody else did. And now I regret it because that was my friend.
Right.
Yeah. But
I'm glad she said what she wanted to, because when they go back to Untucked, like, they all, well, most of them except one, understand that, like, they all have to say someone's name. So, like, it's mostly it's fine.
Yeah. Everyone takes it pretty well except for Maggie.
Yep.
Who takes it extremely personal. Right.
Yeah, Maggie is just like, you guys are lying. You're not going to pick your friends. And I will say, like, I understand.
She said they were trying to get rid of her. I'm like, okay,
Okay. Yeah. What I was going to say is I felt like there are 2 factors here. Number 1, Maggie did do bad. Maggie did do bad in the challenge. She didn't do good. Number 2, yes, the young girls are not going to say each other most of the time.
Right.
Like, I think the only one was Chloe, and I respected her for doing it. But, like, it made sense for me, like, why the other girls didn't choose Mariana. And so they went with number 2. And that was Maggie. So, like, she did badly. She needs to, like, be okay with that.
5 of the 6 of them stuck by their friends and named somebody from the other side that was convenient to do. And yeah, they could justify it however, but it's easy when that person is not in your friend group and you can name them. That's easy for all of you. So I don't think Maggie should be mad when she did the exact same thing to somebody who actually got good critiques for this challenge.
Yeah, actually.
Yes. But nothing else from Untucked, because they just talk about the saying each other's names and all of that, and that's it.
Yeah.
I was surprised by how little drama that actually caused And like even earlier in the episode, we didn't address it, but Maggie had to come up with the order that everybody was in. No drama from that. Not an ounce of
Vampy was
drama
a little
for like the
upset,
first
I
time ever.
think, because she said she wanted to go either first or last, and she was fifth. But she didn't say anything or seem upset. It was just like she didn't get what she wanted, but
Yeah.
it didn't matter.
I don't get it. It's like there's some element missing, and there's
For
not
some
drama.
reason,
This
they're
episode.
not fighting as much.
It's
Something
almost like the drama just went home last episode. I wonder what happened.
happened.
I mean, I said this last episode.
Okay, Silky.
Oh no, I was doing Angelita.
Oh.
Oh,
She also did
I was
it.
like, I thought you were like, hold on 1 second. No, but I said I forgot what I was gonna say. Never mind.
Sorry, but
That's fine. I forgot what I was gonna say.
the only other thing that they talk about, I think briefly, that I want to talk about when we get to the results now, which we're at the results. Chloe is finally in the top! Yeah!
Is this her first time in the
So
top? I guess it
This
is.
is her first high placement of the season.
That's
Insane.
wild.
Insane. That's why I kind of wanted her to win.
I know. It would have been fun.
I wanted her to win.
An eighth
I wanted
different
her to
winner
win.
in a row? That would have been wild.
It would have been incredible. But no, Le Coco wins. Very deservedly.
Dang
I
it.
mean,
No, I'm kidding.
Very deservedly.
Very
Very deservedly. I am not mad. I am not angry. I am not upset. Oh, at all. But damn, it could have been Chloe.
Yeah.
it would have not felt right, though, to me.
I agree.
That's fair.
Would I love Chloe to have a win? Yes. This one would have felt weird.
Yeah, it would have felt a little bit like production is trying to spread out the wins as much as they can.
Mhm.
But like, I still would have been okay with it.
I just don't want her. I don't want her getting to the top 4 without a win.
We'll see.
We'll
Your
see.
top 3.
Or top 3. Who knows? Who knows? But yes, our bottom 3 ends up as Maggie, Vampy, and Mariana, with a bottom 2 that I wasn't fundamentally against of Mariana and Maggie. It's the lip sync we've all been waiting for. It's the moment of all moments. Back-to-back episodes, the rivals are going against each other. And
Yes.
guess what? 2 great lip syncs came out of those
Oh.
rivalries.
Mhm.
This one, I
This lip sync.
lived. I was living, laughing, and loving.
Oh yes, absolutely. Yes, I
Mhm.
was.
Mhm.
I'm glad you were, because Olivia Dreams was not. Poor
Yeah,
Olivia.
we have a Google sheet where we put scores for lip syncs, and I've been highlighting in green lip syncs that are contenders for my best lip syncs of the year list, and I did highlight this one in green
Mhm.
because I really
Mhm.
enjoyed this. I watched it twice in a row, and I will say at first I was like, wow, Maggie is really giving it. Like her musicality, her hitting everything with her movements was so good. But on the second watch, that's when I really picked up on Mariana's face. She
Mhm.
had everything in the face, and she was giving a really good performance too. But I really believed the song, even though I don't know what they were singing about. But she still was giving me that message with her face, and that's why in the end I did think Mariana won this lip sync.
Yeah, I will say for a second I got scared. I was like, oh shit, Mariana's
Mhm.
about to go home.
Mhm.
Mariana is
When
about
she
to get
took off
eliminated.
her headpiece, and
No
it was
wig.
just her hair.
Yes.
There was
But
no
then
wig
she
that
went
looked
like
like
this
Chloe's
and
wig
looked
or Maggie's
great.
wig. I got so concerned. I was like, no, this is not
Mm.
how I'm losing Mariana.
Yeah,
Mm-mm.
I got scared because like Maggie was really bringing it with like the moves and everything. But then I think once the fan came out, it really like hit me like, oh, Mariana's really going for it with the face. And she's
Mhm.
really emoting everything that needs to be emoted. And I started actually focusing more on Mariana than I did on Maggie. And I it was tough. It was tough because as I kind of like said, Maggie was really good at the beginning, but Mariana finished up stronger. But in the end, I think really giving the energy of the lip sync of the song and like really matching it is what matters most, which is why. And I'm biased, so that's why Mariana did also win the lip sync for me. So I will also have to bring in the bias.
Well, I wanted to add, like, with the fan part, there was one part of the song where she like started to put out her fan and it looked like she was about to clack it, but then she stopped herself and then clacked it right on the beat, and I was like, yes, yes, like just her musicality.
She
is so
worked
amazing.
that fan
Oh
perfectly.
yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, they both did so good in this lip sync. What separated it for me, and I said this while I was watching, Maggie was performing the song. Mariana was living the song.
Yeah.
That's what the difference was. And Maggie did an incredible job. We had not seen Maggie lip sync for her life up until this point. I think she could have taken out most of the girls in this cast, honestly, because I think she is a strong lip syncer.
For sure.
And I think we saw it in the talent show and she won it. So ultimately though, I do agree as well that Mariana, yes.
Because I didn't get to say it, but Mariana gave the drama that was necessary for the song. Because Maggie had her dance was amazing. Like whatever she did with her body was my favorite. But Mariana she embodied the song with the drama because it needed that fire. But yeah, I also think this might be a contender for the end of the year, for sure.
Yes.
So good. It could have been a double peg.
That was
if we didn't have one already.
It could have been. I hope you know I wasn't transitioning into saying who the actual winner and loser was. I was just trying to say who I thought.
It seemed that way. It's okay though.
Oh. Oops.
Well, now I can say, guess what? Mariana did win. And we lose Maggie.
I'm shocked.
I'm kind of gagged.
Yeah, I thought for sure she was going to be in the top 3.
I thought so too.
Yes, but we're dealing with a top 6 where genuinely I could see any of them in the top 3. That's the thing.
Yeah.
Like even Chloe, who hasn't had the world's best track record, like she is improving week by week. La Nina is improving week by week. I think what it ultimately came down to, with honestly the last 2 eliminations that we got, is other people are growing and showcasing more skills and ramping up and getting stronger as the season goes on. And with Angelita, she was strong from the start and then plateaued. With Maggie, she was strong at the start and then just kind of plateaued. And that's the caliber of queen we have on this season. Now, do I fundamentally believe that she's going to get brought back for España All-Star Season 2 and win in the exact same way that Drag Seth listed? Yes.
Absolutely.
Am I fundamentally mad at that? I don't know yet. I'll have to see.
Depends on how she does on the season.
Right.
Yeah,
exactly.
And who else is on the season as well?
And I was really skeptical about Maggie going into this season, honestly. We were like, we've never had, a pit crew member be on the show. Now we're going to have 2 of them. They won't be on the show at the same time, unfortunately, but we'll have 2 of them this year, and I think that's really cool. But I'm really happy that Maggie got to show off her skills and show off exactly how great of a drag queen she is. Because she is really just such a great queen.
She is.
Especially for the short amount of time that she's been doing drag. Like, she hasn't been doing drag for that much. And she's at this level, goddamn. Like, really good job.
It's because of her competitive drive she has, I swear.
Yeah, absolutely. I also did write down, I wonder if maybe we'll come back next episode as a pit crew member. That would be really funny. That would be really funny. Oh, pit crew and Maggie walks in.
Oh, I would live.
Please.
Oh my God, I would live. Production, I know y'all did this a year ago, but please. Oh my God.
And
that would be incredible.
I cannot think of a time I've seen Supreme this upset to tell somebody to Shantae.
Right?
She was so upset.
Kelly Roller the first time.
I don't want to think about that.
Not this.
I don't either, but that is the only other time I can think of.
Oh no, they're not going to have a comeback, are they? I forgot
this
if they
point,
did
no.
that.
Could
Yeah,
you
'cause
imagine?
I'm good with the top 5 we have.
Yes.
Oh, this top 5 is maybe my favorite top 5 of all time. Honestly.
Yeah, I have. It's really rare when I have a top 5, and I would be happy with any of them winning.
And-
That's
Right.
really rare.
And
Yeah.
did y'all notice as well? All 5 of them in their promos are either in pink, red, or orange.
Yes.
Hmm.
Yes.
Like the color, like it's giving sunset theme, and I'm living for it.
the warm tones. Well,
The warmth.
except for La Nina, who is a little bit of a cooler, like not yellow, cooler purple.
Pink.
So
Like
I
lilac.
am scared for La Nina.
Yeah, but bye, Maggie. You were great. Thanks for the drama. Bye.
Come back next episode as a pit crew member,
Hope we
please,
get
and
to
thank
see you
you.
in a speedo next episode. Bye. David.
Yeah. What's funny is last week when we were talking about the draft, I was like, I've got the lead over Lana for now, but I do think she might end up beating me because she has Le Coco and Meggie. And that's because I thought those two were going to be in the top 3. But she did lose Meggie. So so we still have Eduardo at number 5, River at number 4, Logan at number 3. And then there's a bit of a gap. Lana has 67.5 points with second place, and then I have 70.5 with first place. And I still have 3 of my teammates on here.
I was gonna say I only have Nina left, right? She's
Yes.
the only person I remember having.
Yeah,
Yes.
I'm just standing here with Chloe and a dream.
Yep, and I've not lost a single person. I can't believe that.
Wow.
Good for you.
How many points do I have?
You have 31 points.
So you're telling me you have twice as many points as I do?
I have over twice, but that's because Chloe just has been safe a lot. And so she hasn't been getting a lot of points for you. And of course, you had Dita, who was out early, and then Porca, who was out early. So
Who else?
This is
did
my
I
worst
have?
draft that I had. You also had
Angelita
Porta.
and someone else.
you had
I also
Annalita,
had Porca.
La Nina, and Porca. Yes.
Okay. Yeah. I'll be fine with third in this draft. That'll be acceptable for this one. But
River still has Mariana. So.
Yes.
and a dream.
And a dream.
We are all holding on with someone and a dream, and David has a full damn team.
I don't think we need to do the draft anymore. I think we can just finish it at
Let's
this point.
call it.
Congratulations, David.
Honestly.
You are the winner.
Well, no, because Lana has Coco in a dream, so who knows?
A strong potential winner.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, next week I think is going to be really exciting. Across Drag Race on a whole, we've got 2 makeovers next week, which I think is fun. But this makeover, it looks like it's Spanish drag icons, which I think is very fun.
Love that.
Yeah.
And they're going to be
Too bad
drag daughters.
Angelica's not here.
Yeah, I thought that was
They could
interesting.
have just brought on. They could have just brought Angelita in as part of the makeover.
That would have been funny, actually.
Oh my god, could you imagine they brought 4 of them in and then the 5th person is just Angelita?
And they pair her with La Nina.
And then Nina has to do crunchy eyebrows for
Yes.
the makeover. But no, I think it's going to be really fun. And instead of becoming drag mothers, they're becoming drag daughters, which I also think is going to be a really fun twist. I'm excited for makeover next week. So, period.
I'm excited to see how the twist is gonna work out.
This Twistos twist, if you know, you know. But yes, thank you for joining us for this recap for Drag Race España. If you want to go check out our thoughts on the runway, which was a very good runway, make sure to go check out our Look Over Here episode. In the meantime, subscribe, like, and share on the way out. Make sure to check out the description below where you can find all of our audio podcast links, our other YouTube channels, our Patreon, our social media, and where you can get your merch, including my unlimited 2-cup mug. And with all that being said, we are going to go ahead and get out of here. So, cheers.
Cheers.
Adios.